Hey there everyone, welcome back. I am Cappy, in case you have forgotten. It's been quite a while. It's been a while. I did some videos on RNG, and then I took a long break, and I kept saying I would do Sword and Shield, but I never did Sword and Shield. And then this game came out. This uh masterpiece. Anyways, enough about my absence. Let's talk about this game, which unfortunately, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, those who are coming on here have not played this game are super duper excited and looking forward to RNGing their new Pokemon game. Well, you're going to be really disappointed. I'm sorry, because this game does not have RNG in it. Or rather, it does, but it doesn't have the kind of RNG that we can actually do anything with. Because of how they coded the game, it uses a cryptographically secure random number generator, which is different from the random number generators that are used in like PLA or Sword and Shield, where we could find the seed or find the RNG values and then be able to predict them for the future. So we can't do that. Every time it generates a new Pokemon in the overworld here, it uses cryptographically secure RNG. We can't predict them. We don't know what's going to pop out next. We're completely unable to tell this, unfortunately. So that would mean that the RNG dream is dead for this game, and that's mostly true. We can't RNG anything, but there actually are quite a bit of ways to shiny hunt in this game, and one of them, I'm going to drop a save right here, just for no reason whatsoever. One of them is using the sandwiches, and Papa Jeff has done videos, Austin John Plays done videos. Essentially, you use the picnic method. You create a sandwich with picnicking, and you increase your shiny rolls by a large amount, and then you can just run around the overworld until you find a shiny Pokemon. It's actually traditional shiny hunting, which is, perfectly fine. If you want to do that, you can do that. But there is one area in the game where things are not quite hidden from us. I'm going to go ahead and challenge this Sinister, by the way. Just go ahead and start a battle up with it. And while it's loading, so there's one area in the game where if you have a switch that is capable of CFW, you can give yourself a little bit of an advantage. It's not RNG, but well, look at that. That's a shiny Sinistea. That's crazy. I mean, what are the odds of that? Well, the odds of that are about 1 in 4,103 point something. But I'll tell you right now that I actually knew in advance that this was a shiny Poltegeist, and that it was right here, and I knew that it was rock type, Terra type, and I even know that its IVs in this particular one is 22, 28, 31, 31, 0, 31. It is a rash nature, and it has the ability weak armor. And that's because what Game Freak did is they used den seeds again, which, if you're familiar with Sword and Shield, every den in that game had a seed. And if you knew the seed, you'd be able to find out what Pokemon would be generated in it, and what its stats would be, whether or not it would be shiny or not, and you'd be able to advance the seed until you got to a shiny Pokemon. Well, we can't advance a seed because every single time it generates new dens, it reseeds them using cryptographically secure RNG. So we can't predict, but what we can do is we can read all the den seeds at once. So when the game first came out, and it was determined that they in fact used seeds for dens, I worked with Lincoln and Santa Crab 420 and Easy Peasy Streams, and we had wrote a script. And so the script basically went into the game's memory and read your memory, read all the seeds, predicted the whether or not it was shiny. Then eventually we figured out how to predict difficulty and then predict the species and everything. And then just in time we got everything working. It looked good. And then Lego, who was working on this completely independently, came out with this GUI. So ignore my script entirely. Just ignore it. It's completely completely superfluous at this point. So you can see right here that this little tool here will connect to your Switch. You need to have CFW, you need to have Sysbot base installed on it. But it'll connect to your Switch, it will read every single raid den and tell you the Pokemon that'll be there, its gender, its nature, its stats, how many stars this will be, the ability, where the den is located, everything. And of course, whether or not it's shiny. And you can input your game version, you can input your story progress level, because that determines how many stars show up. You can even set stop filters, like you can have it advance until you find a shiny, or a specific species, or a specific IV layout. Either way, whatever you want, it can search for. So this is RaidCrawler. I'll put the link for it in the description. The special thanks to Lego. I was about to do a video on my script, but there's no point to do it. But I still have it. I can at least say that I did the work on this. So essentially what this does is, imagine that you are in the game and you see there are always 69 dens each day, which first off, nice. Second off, always 69 dens. So if you were to go and let's say you hop in and you check every single one of these dens, then you go and you advance your date. You can go down here and set your date forward by 1 or backwards by 1. You do that, all new dens spawn. And then you check all 69 dens again, and you just keep doing that. Every single time you advance the clock, you check all your dens, and then you find a shiny Pokemon. That's essentially what this is doing. We're not injecting anything into the game. We're not modifying the game in any way. We're just reading ahead of time to know whether or not something is shiny. And for those of you who watch my streams, I've been hosting shiny raids for quite a while here, because we've had various versions of this working. But yeah, this will let you let you get attacked by a wild Pokemon, but it will let you detect and find if you have a shiny den, and even advance your date for you if you want to. If you disconnect your controllers and you set a stop filter, in this case I already set a stop filter to only look for shinies, go ahead and click advance date, and don't worry, I have a save. Sometimes it's not perfect. Don't worry, I already have a save, so it's not gonna delete anything. But if you go ahead and click advanced date, I'm just reconnecting it right now. Sorry, the little unplanned incident there. There you go. That's better. So it'll go ahead and advance the date for you. And whenever it advances, and we'll see it in just a second here, because it'll do this for us. It'll go back into the game. And you can see that, in this case, it will take another day to do it. But when you do the advanced date, when you advance a date like this, it will spawn new dens. And it'll go ahead and read. In this case, it stopped because it found shiny dens. But it'll read, and it'll keep advancing your date until you find a shiny den. So you can at least not have to do it manually like I was doing for the first couple of days of this. First week or so of release. You see, there you go. The den's changed. And unfortunately, we can't predict what's going to come out next. But using this tool, you'll be able to read and find whether or not you have a shiny den, or even advance until you get one. So that's... Unfortunately, I wish there was more, but this is the closest thing we have to any sort of tools to find a shiny den, shiny Pokemon. We're not going to be able to do any sort of RNG manipulation in this gen, which is really unfortunate. But I'll do other videos about how to actually increase the odds of finding a shiny Pokemon, which are very similar to ones that are already done. But I wanted to make sure that I put out a video so people understood what is going on in this gen, and that this tool is actually available, so you can find shiny dens and even host them for your friends. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the people who support me. Thank you for the people who showed up on my Twitch streams. And yeah, that's just a note. I stream on Twitch, and when I'm streaming on Twitch, I'm usually hosting a Shiny Den. In fact, I'm going to be hosting this Sinistee later. And there's actually a second Shiny Den you may have noticed that came with it today. And that's actually a Gen 9 Pokemon that'll be in it too. So a brand new one. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I hope you have good luck with your hunts.